start.
This is a new setup.
New setup. New. It's not the setup we want yet, but it's
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah.
You know.
I like this table.
Thank you. Facebook Marketplace.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back to Glad We Talked podcast. I'm Tori.
I'm Chanel.
And we are sitting in my new apartment
Yay.
for the first time with Chanel.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
You do?
Yeah, so it's like downstairs from your other one, which was not very far.
No.
But it has a completely different feel.
When you came over today, I liked how you like automatically started to go up the stairs and you're like, oh.
I was like, oh, wait, what am I doing?
It was so funny because sometimes I do that too. And with Rhodey even, I sometimes forget and I just automatically start going up the stairs.
And you're like, I don't live there anymore.
Yeah, it's funny, different habits. But now he's used to it and everything. New apartment. We have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a backyard.
Was it weird moving like downstairs? Like,
It was.
Do you box things up?
We did.
Okay.
I think I talked about it before on the podcast.
Oh, you did?
I think where I was like literally just carrying some random wine glasses. Like I would hand carry a few things and then I would box things up. And I'm still surprised because sometimes I find like things that Mitch put away.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like starting to settle in and looking for things, and
It's helpful when you label the boxes.
one would think, or categorize.
Yeah, categorize.
Do you think you should categorize by room or by like what the item is?
Both.
Both. Right.
Yeah. I do like room, like let's say kitchen, and then I'll do like wine glasses together. But then you have to make sure that like not everything heavy is together. So you kind of have to split it a little bit. And then I'll just label it and just be like wine glasses, books, whatever.
Right.
Not that I would put wine glasses and books in the same box, but you know what I mean?
I wouldn't either. But I think like when you're packing a room, it's like all the electronics from the living room go together.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And Mitch's method, the Mitch method of moving, Mitch's moving method is just to put everything in a box and figure it out later.
Okay. Yeah. That would give me anxiety.
I love Mitch. Like, I just want to clarify. I don't not love Mitch because I think sometimes I give him a hard time.
No one thinks that.
I know. But like, if you don't know me, I'm a ball breaker. Like, I like to... I'm not just like he's so great.
Yeah.
And
like me.
I don't like I don't have like the princess eyes. I'm kind of like
the Meghan Markle wedding day.
Yeah.
She looked at Prince Harry.
I'm kind of just like, we're equals on this. You do your part. Like literally today I was like, dude, come on. Like that's our relationship. Mitch calls me dude.
Well, yesterday you said a verb that I really liked. I was like, what's Mitch doing? You're like, he's Mitching. I was like, I like that.
It's true. It's like, what does Mitch do? And it's just like, he's Mitching.
It's just how your relationship is, and no one thinks any like different. Also, I feel like that with you. Like sometimes I'm like, I love you, right?
I know.
I make fun of you a lot, but I'm like, I love you, right?
We do. And I think sometimes people are like, are you guys really friends? Because like,
that's our relationship.
We get the other.
Yeah.
And I feel like that for a lot of people. And if you understand the other person and you know why you love them, but like sometimes I think people just are like, what?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Anyways, soon enough, we'll have our podcast room.
Yes. With wallpaper.
Yes. I'm really excited. It's going to be so, right. You saw it.
Yeah. I love it. I'm excited.
Me too.
It'll just take a while, apparently, though.
It does. It takes a while.
We have our Starbucks drinks.
We do.
I finished mine.
I am like sipping and enjoying mine casually.
So it is August 27th and Starbucks has already come out with their fall drinks.
Mm-hmm.
But to be clear, I texted Tori and I was like, it's really hot out. I don't want a hot fall drink. And you're like, no, they have iced. So we both got iced drinks.
Yeah. We're just, honestly, it's the hype because everyone hypes up the fall, pumpkin spice, fall vibes. And we did our little bit on the holiday drinks. So we're not going to make this a big thing, but we just wanted to like mention them.
Yeah.
So what did you get?
I got the apple crisp iced shaken espresso oat milk.
How was it?
It was really good. So I also like the brown sugar one. There's like a brown sugar ice oat milk shaken espresso one. And it tastes similar to that. I think they just use like apple syrup.
Could you taste the apple?
Kind of.
Okay.
I was like concerned because I'm allergic to apples, but it was just syrup. So it was fine.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I got the traditional pumpkin. Oh no, I got a tall. I'm like, what does this say? I got the pumpkin cream cold brew and they were out of vanilla syrup. So I guess there's supposed to be 1 pump of vanilla syrup in it.
Oh.
And they didn't have it, but it had the pumpkin cream cold brew on top. It was kind of orangey.
Yeah, it was orange.
It was interesting. And there was cinnamon sprinkled. I'm enjoying
cinnamon.
it. It's good.
Okay.
I don't think I'm ready for fall. So I probably won't enjoy this until it gets a little bit cooler. At least it hits September again. I'm going to wait.
Okay.
But for the sake of the bandwagon, I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah, you were like, we have to do these Starbucks drinks. I'm like, Tori, we spoke for 18 minutes on Starbucks during the holidays last year. We cannot do another Starbucks real review segment. She's like, okay, we'll just talk about it. And also, I found out that you are like very diehard for coffee. We went out yesterday for lunch and it was like 3:00 and you hadn't had coffee yet. And you were like not there. I was like talking to you and you were just like in a daze. I'm like, are you well? And you're like, I need coffee.
I know. And I didn't want to be late because we were meeting up at Bloomingdale's to go dress shopping.
You were right on time.
I was. I really was prioritizing. I was like, okay, I could be late and get a coffee, or I could come on time and not get a coffee.
This was the one time I wanted you to be late because I was reading my book and I was at a really good pivotal part and you show up and I'm like, are you?
You're like,
really?
What? Go get a coffee. What book are you reading?
The Perfect Marriage. It's good. A lot of twists and turns. I don't know the author. Let me look it up real quick.
Or it's an outstanding item. Okay. Well, I am the type of person, and I grew up in a family where coffee was a tradition. It's part of your daily routine, and you kind of base your day on your coffee. And that's why I feel like if I don't have a coffee in the morning or throughout my day, I know, and my day feels off. So until I get that coffee, I'm tolerable, and then I become a kid that needs like a toy or a pacifier. Like I actually felt this way. I was like, I need a coffee or I'm going to have a tantrum.
Oh, Lord.
And not a tantrum, but just like, I'm going to continue to be like, where's my coffee? Like I was fixated on it.
You couldn't like stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the author?
The author is Geneva Rose. I don't know. I've never read anything else by her. I don't love the writing style, but I do like the storyline. The writing style is a little bit like...
Can you give us a quick synopsis?
A husband is cheating on his wife.
Oh, no.
She's a high-profile lawyer. She defends criminals, and he's accused of killing his mistress. And it's basically the case of her defending him, even though he was her husband and he cheated on her. She still defends him. Wow. And it's just like how the case unfolds,
Can I give you my prediction?
Yes.
The high case lawyer killed the mistress.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. She was out for drinks that night and sleeping in bed when he got home, but
sure,
you never know.
She would know how to cover up the tracks is all I'm saying.
I'll let you know. I'm 72% of the way through.
Oh, boy. Well, the last thing I want to say about this coffee as I'm on my final sips.
Well, let's circle back to the coffee real quick.
I do like the cold foams because I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be doing this, but you can like lick the cold foam off the top.
So it's like sweet.
Yeah.
It's pumpkin-y.
It's like a little ice creamy kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
It's fun.
All in all, I enjoyed my drink.
Yeah.
I'm ready for fall,
honestly.
I'm not. I love fall.
I didn't do anything this summer. I feel like summer went by.
It really did, actually. I feel like July was really busy for me, and then all of a sudden I did nothing, and I was like, oh, it's over.
I just feel like I didn't beach enough. I didn't pool enough. I didn't sun enough.
You didn't go to your beach house a lot. Or I guess it's your normal house now.
Yeah, it's since we sold the other house, it's normal house. Yeah, I don't know.
Just busy.
Well, what are you excited about for fall?
The weather. I hate sweating.
It's been so hot.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I want to wear blazers. I want to wear sweaters.
I showered 3 times yesterday.
Me too.
The morning, I Peloton in the morning. And then we went out and did some
lunch.
We had a lunch meeting. And what did we do? It was just so hot on the platforms. Hot. And it was not like I was dressed ridiculously. Like the sweat was going from the back of my legs. I was wearing a skirt, literally from my butt cheeks, down the back of my legs and into my socks.
Thank you so much for that visual.
Like, you can feel it, right? Like know.
Like I know what that feels like, but thank you for the visual.
And the sock was coming off my foot. So it was just uncomfortable the whole time.
You're like, I need to shower.
Yeah. And then we met up later and had a drink.
Yeah.
With our boyfriends, Mitch and Martin. And then after that, I had a shower.
Yeah, same. I did the same shower schedule as you. I was so sweaty. This is why I'm ready for 60s, 50s. That's where I thrive.
I just forgot what it was like to be in New York City, I think, because I've moved out of proper New York City.
That's fair.
And I haven't summered.
I haven't summered in New York City
in a minute because my commute has become very...
You take the path.
Comfortable. Yeah. I take the bus.
Oh, you take the bus.
I wait for like 2 seconds for the bus, get on, it's air conditioned, I get off in Port Authority and I walk 2 blocks.
And you don't have to go on the platform.
Exactly. So I just forgot that whole thing.
I get it. Okay. We're going on a tangent as usual, but I have a card here
Yes, you have a card.
I came over and you were like, by the way, this is yours. And it just is a card that says Chanel on it. And I was like, when is this from?
I don't know. I found it after we moved.
And that's what you said.
So you're going to open it right now.
I'm going to open it right now and see when this card is from.
I think it's a Valentine's Day card.
Oh, that's cute.
Is it?
I don't know. We'll see. It says both hot messes, but that's why I love you.
Aw.
Chanel-y, I might be a little bit more of a hot mess, but we're both doing this thing together.
Aw.
Thanks for being a great co-host and friend. Love, Tori. When is this from? It doesn't even have a holiday on it or a date or anything.
I think it was Valentine's Day.
That's cute. I like this card a lot. It's so cute. I love that it says I might be a little bit more of a hot mess. And then it's like literally you gave me this card and didn't know when it was from. The irony is there.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So cute.
This is your sign to just send your friend a random card.
Yeah, what a fun August.
Thinking of you. What a fun August.
Love a good August
It's
card.
perfect because we were just talking about how hot it is. We're a hot mess. I'm a hot mess.
It's very fitting for right now.
Perfect.
The timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah. Well, I forgot. You did my makeup.
I did do your makeup.
Yeah. It was a fun.
Do you like it?
I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's nice. It's different. Different's good.
What's different?
It's just like a little bit more
Okay, yeah.
because you do more makeup.
I do heavy makeup, yeah.
And your eyes look very pretty today.
Thank you.
They're like corally. One might call it pumpkin spicy.
You might call it.
They're very pretty, but I enjoyed getting my makeup done. So thank you.
Was it like nice?
It was like, the funny thing is I was like, I don't think you've ever touched my face before.
I know. I was like putting serum on and I was just like,
It felt very like personal.
yeah, intimate.
Yeah.
I got over it quickly.
I know, but you did a great job and it was very nice.
Oh, good.
Pleasurable experience.
I know it can be anxiety. I hate when people do my makeup, like whenever I have to get my makeup done, because like I feel like no one knows how to do it the way
You do it.
I do it. But you know what I noticed is that obviously I'm darker than you. So when I do my makeup, I have to be like really heavy handed with things. Like I have to put like extra eyeshadow and extra blush because it's not always as pigmented as I want it to be. So I have to like layer a lot. Whereas on you, I can just like I put too much blush on you at one point.
Yeah.
I'm not used to like it not showing. I'm not used to it showing right away.
Right.
So I feel like that happens with makeup artists. Like I don't know how often they do darker colored skin. So maybe like that's why I don't always like how my makeup comes out because it comes out like so light. Like I always feel like I don't have enough on when they do it and I always want to like go in and fix it. But it might just be because they're not used to doing darker people makeup.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, because a lot of times too, I'll like look at their Instagram and I don't always see, girls who look like me on it. So maybe that's why I don't like getting my makeup done. Because on you, I had to like really like be careful, not to like overdo it.
There was one point when your face was like, it looked like you made a mistake with permanent marker. It was like,
oh. But I don't know. That's just a theory I have.
oh, that is interesting.
Maybe they're just not used to being so heavy-handed.
Yeah, I was watching a girl today doing her makeup on Instagram, and I can't remember the influencer, but she's black and she has very dark skin. And so I was just watching it, and it was just interesting to like see the different colors she was using. And it's true, like the colors, and now that I know this, like like how we do our makeup and stuff. Like even you gave me a blush, and you're like, this just doesn't show up on me, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, I gave you a blush because I was like, this is nothing on me.
Yeah, and it's interesting because she had to use such deep colors.
Rich.
Yeah. Rich. They were really like jewel toned almost, like very bright. And I'm like, oh, like, wow.
And if you pick that up, you'd be like, I don't know if I could put this on me, but I picked this up and I'm like, ooh, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just interesting. Maybe I'll do your makeup sometime.
Okay, you should try it.
Okay.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah, you're going to be like, this is lighter than I'm used
I'll be
to.
like, I don't see anything, but
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, anyway, actually, remember when we used to do our makeup in the office?
Yes.
And we would have our Urban Decay palettes. It would be like the typical date and night thing.
Yeah.
We'd be like doing it at our desk.
Your makeup, you were constantly doing your makeup throughout the day. It was like
was.
covering up and, you know.
I get oily, so I like to put powder on throughout the day.
Interesting. Yeah. I know your desk used to like your like what is it? Foundation used to be like all over.
That still happens to me.
I know.
Everything that I touch has my little fingerprints on it of my foundation. Like if I have a paper, I have like a thumbprint on it.
I know.
I'm like, how does this even happen?
You're just a makeup girl.
I like touch my face quickly and all of a sudden it's like all over my hands.
I know. Oh my God. But that's like a good way for us to transition into our topic for today.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Oh, good.
Duh.
Which is talking about our New York City era and kind of growing up and moving on. Because one of our close mutual friends who we've talked about on the podcast, Amanda, just informed us that she is moving to Stamford, Connecticut, out of the Upper East Side.
She is like a through and through NYC girly. She loves New York City.
So much to the point where when she texted us in a group chat saying moving to Stamford or whatever, I was like, university? Why are you going to Stanford? Like,
I was like, yes, Tori, Stanford University.
I thought maybe she was doing something for school. I was like, it was so far out of my mind that she would move back home. We both grew up in Connecticut. So I understand that she's moving closer. She'll still be close to the city because Stanford's only a 50-minute train ride.
Yeah.
But like, also, I just didn't think she would move back to Connecticut.
Yeah.
So, very interesting.
I mean, it's sad because we did like a little girls' night and we said goodbye to the apartment and we ordered food and it was really nice. And it's just like the three of us had like so many memories too in New York. Like the three of us used to go out a lot together.
Yeah.
Like we have that funny story when Amanda wanted to go on a date, or she was going on a date, and she wasn't like us. Like we were on the dating apps. We were out there.
I was Tinder Tori.
Yeah, like we were in the scene. We were dating like twice a week at least, like minimum. And we were like on the dating apps, Bumble, Tinder.
She was hesitant. She wanted to do it in the wild.
She wanted to do it in the wild, and she did. But so she was going on like her first dating app date or something, and she's like, I don't want to go alone. And we were like, we got you.
Oh, I know. We were like, we thought we were slews.
I know.
But looking back, I'd love to see what we are actually like.
We're like, I bring this reference up all the time, but no one ever gets it. Have you ever seen the episode of Modern Family when Phil and Sofia Vergara are like extras in a show?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
in the back, and she like pretends to answer the phone, but it's like her hand.
Yeah.
The director's like, we see you, but like they're doing the most. I feel like that was us, like at the bar.
We were. So like we were sitting at the bar. We had gone for a drink before, like to just talk her up and be like, we'll sit here, like whatever. So we stayed at the bar to continue. We had another drink, and her date came, and as soon as he walked in, we were kind of like,
Amanda's not gonna like him.
Yeah, and I don't think Amanda was like, oh God, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
And we just stayed and watched the date, and I felt like we kept on like looking over.
We had like the menus over our face, like as if he knew who we were. We were like, oh, he can't see us if we do this. And then we're like, what are we doing?
I know.
But we ordered the wine. We're like chatting, but we're like fake chatting.
Yeah, we just talked about what they were probably talking about.
Like, what do you think they were talking about?
I know. Does she look happy? Does she look scared? What is this guy? Like, we totally were not very good sleuths.
It was so funny. So then when we were about to go to girls' night, I was like, oh, do you want to meet me at this bar?
Vanguard.
It was Vanguard. And I was like, why do I feel like we were up to something suspicious there? Like, why is that ringing a bell? And you were like, no. This is what happened. But I feel like we went out on Upper East often because I lived up there too. Mm-hmm. But Upper East just holds like a special place in my heart. And it's like so sad she's leaving. Like I don't know anyone else living up there now.
I know like a few people, but it's their acquaintances, not really close friends.
What do you think?
Also, getting to the Upper East Side from Hoboken, where I live,
is hard.
Was a journey, and it just wasn't that hard. So it really brought to my mind like how we've kind of the city used to be so much to us. It was where we worked. It was where we went out as friends. It's where we live. Like so much of our lives were in the city, and now I feel like we're all in phases of. I know you still live in New York City. Not Manhattan. You live in Long Island City, but we live on like around it. We're not in the city itself, but we're like moving out with our partners and
the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, we're making the trek outward.
I know.
I never thought I would though.
Yeah, I mean, you used to live in Murray Hill, which was kind of close. Even yesterday, we were like, remember when we used to go out to this bar, Gem Saloon, and then there was a pizza shop near our apartment? It was like a routine. Like every Saturday, we'd like go to Gem Saloon, go to the pizza shop, and then I'd take a cab like 20 blocks up to my apartment.
It was clockwork.
It was, literally clockwork.
It was perfect.
And I would like come over like on a Friday. I'd be like, Tori, I'm coming over. We're just gonna have a girls' night in. We're gonna drink wine and hang out.
We would get sushi, drink a whole bottle of wine, then be like, should we get another?
Should we go out?
And then we would just end up out.
Yeah, we would be like, let's go get another bottle, and then we would end up at a bar.
Yeah.
Like, how did we get here?
It was just what we did.
It was like those big wine bottles.
It
like
was.
the doubles.
I can't do that anymore.
Oh my gosh. No. If I drank oh my God, I would wake up so hungover.
I know. Everyone warned me. Like my friends, when I was in my 20s, I had friends that were already in their 30s, and they're like, I just can't do this anymore. And it was worse for them. And I just feel that now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how these youngins do it in their 20s. But I liked how yesterday, so Chanel and I met up yesterday to do literally a podcast. Oh, to Rhodey.
Rhodey's crying.
Rhodey's crying. Come here, Rhodes.
He just wants attention.
He wants attention. He's like, I never really got to live in New York City, so I don't understand. I'm a Hoboken dog. What are you talking about?
He's like, I have a little yard.
I have a
An outdoor
backyard.
ball.
Yesterday when we met up to do our working session, we kind of went through a walk down memory lane because we went to where we first met, where we used to work together, and all of these old stomping grounds, the bars we would go to, happy hours, the restaurants we would go to. And I just felt nice to see how things stayed the same, but also how they changed.
Yeah. There was a lot that changed.
Yeah.
Like so many bars are something else now. We also walked past my old apartment, which was my like 6th floor walk up.
Oh
I don't
my
think you
God.
ever went to that
I
apartment
didn't.
though. But it was a good apartment. It had a walk-in closet, but it was on the 6th floor. So,
Yeah.
you give and take.
Yeah.
But it was nice to walk. Like, I feel like it's nice to just do that sometimes.
It
Like,
is.
if you ever spent like your 20s or a decade of your life somewhere for
Yeah.
a few years, to just go back and like walk around and just be like nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's like such a nice afternoon.
It is. I haven't gone back to Murray Hill yet. I think I should.
You should. You haven't gone back to Murray Hill?
No, and I also want to go back to Astoria, where I first moved to the city, because I think that would be fun and to show Mitch. And even yesterday after we were leaving, I was like, Mitch, we should go do a tour of like my old stomping grounds, like the bar tour, kind of like go to Jim Saloon and get pizza. And he was like, nah, I'm good.
He's like, I wasn't there.
No, it's so funny.
What do you think you like miss most about being in like the center of the city?
The convenience. And I think having my friends around.
Yeah.
But my friends have all moved on.
Yeah.
You
so it's like,
know?
what's the point of, not even what's the point, but it would just be such a different experience from what we used to know.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I would like it. I like where I live now, and I enjoy having this space with Mitch, and I like the little community. And Mitch says this all the time. He's like, it's so funny that in Hoboken you can actually appreciate looking at the city. And I think maybe,
It's so true.
in Long Island City, you can see the city. You have a beautiful view.
Yeah.
And you don't hear the noise and everything. And it's still not like we're in the countryside. Like we're still
We're close.
public transportation into the city.
Yeah.
But like there's a different appreciation. I think like in my 30s I'm better here. I don't think I would feel as good if I was still living in the city. I don't know.
Also, well, number one, I feel like the city is just a little bit different ever since COVID. Like, I feel like number one, don't feel as safe. Like, I used to like go on the subway by myself at like 2 a.m. and like go all the way uptown and like not think twice about it. And now I can't even like walk to the train by myself. I'm like, so scared. But also, like, I think like living there, the time that we did, it was like the convenience, like you said, of having all of our friends around. Like, it was so nice to just be like, hey, Tor, what are you doing tonight? I'm coming over. And like in like an hour we'd be together. Like now we live far apart and we have to like schedule everything. And like anytime you meet up with a friend, you're like, what are you doing the 3rd weekend of November? Like it's like so far in advance. You can't just like get together on a random Friday night anymore.
I know, but everyone's lives are different. Like,
I know.
People have kids.
But I think that's like what I miss the most is just like texting someone and being like, let's hang out tonight. Let's go to happy hour tonight.
Yeah.
Let's go to work a class and get a drink. Like,
me too.
That was so much of my social life before. It was literally just, what are you doing tonight? I can make plans in 5 minutes.
I know. Even my friend Laurel, who lives in Westchester, now she has 2 kids, but she and her husband and I would always be like, oh, let's random, like we didn't really plan it. Sometimes we would say like Thursday, want to go out to dinner, but sometimes we'd just be like, hey, want to go? And it was fun. Like, and it's just a different chapter. I'm happy and I'm excited, but it's just to see all my friends kind of moving on. And
it's just harder to get together with people. Like it used to be so easy. The convenience was there. I think most people were like in the general vicinity. Even now, like hybrid schedules, it's hard because like not everyone's on the same schedule in the office. So it's just harder to like make plans.
It's so funny to think of the different eras. Like I know eras from like our last episode we were talking about like the Taylor Swift eras, but it's kind of true. Like I feel like there are different eras in New York City and where you have like the exciting first job, your first apartment with multiple roommates or one roommate, and you're like trying to find the affordable place and you're kind of like, what am I going to do? I'm going to make it by. And then you start to get your feet set and you make friends and you do that type of stuff and you're dating and blah, blah, blah. And then you move into your like 20-year-old, like, you know, more seasoned New York City. You get a little bit confident in the city and you're like, oh, and you know the places to go. And then that's like...
We're like, let's go to 310 Bowery.
Yeah. Oh my God. I texted that as a joke.
I know. But that was what we used to do. That was our place.
That was our place. And we knew it.
Yeah.
And now I don't think I would actually go.
I would still go.
You would still go?
I think I went recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was fun. It's different, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I went for like a city bachelorette thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I would go for that purpose.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then, so you go and you do that, like, and then maybe you find a partner or you like not settle down, but like, and then I think things start to change.
Yeah. But like, also like not everyone has that like exact trajectory, you know? Because like some people are still single and living in the city and maybe having the life that we're talking about now, like well into their 30s.
I know.
I feel like it's just like how somehow all of our like friends that were in the city like ended up this way. Like all of my friends who were in the city, like I feel like this is like the same trajectory we've all had is like what you just said, like 20s, your first apartment, then your other apartment, then your significant other, and then you move out. But I mean, there's so many different like scenarios. Like you could like stay in the city till you're like 40 or buy a place in the city. Like some people stay there forever. But I feel like for us, we were just like, I'm kind of done.
Yeah. I mean, we still go there. I still like the city, but I just don't feel the same about it anymore.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Even like going out last night, I was like, oh, let's just go. And it was convenient, you know, but I used to like just like to go walk around on a Saturday and stuff. And I just don't feel that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I mean, you know, before the pandemic, I wanted to move to London.
I know. How's that going?
It's going great. Yeah, I'm there. I'm thriving.
How long do you think you'll stay in the city?
Probably not long. Like, I mean, my lease is up next November. It would probably be a conversation, but I don't feel like super happy anymore in the city.
Me either.
Like I was saying, I don't feel like safe. Like I don't like the subways as much. Like I feel like there's so much like crime and it sounds so generic. And, you know, I know people are always like New York or nowhere, but I just don't really have that mindset anymore.
I know. And it's funny. I was listening to a few other podcasts that talk about they're younger in their 20s and like they're in that era of like it's kind of your playground and and I'm sure there are people that are still in their 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s, 60s, beyond that love the city still. But I just like, it's interesting to me to see like they're in that era, but then what's next? You know, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's next.
For us?
For me, I don't know. Like Mitch wants to buy a house.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. It's like you kind of are like, do we stay in Hoboken? Do we buy something? Like, I feel like you hit that kind of point of like, do I want to keep spending money on rent? Do I want to like live somewhere else? Do I want to go to a new city completely? Like, new state.
London.
Yeah. Who knows?
Private island.
Italy. Portugal. Who knows?
Yeah. I reminisce on our New York City eras though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? What was like your favorite like part of living there?
My favorite part of living in New York City? I don't know. I mean, obviously the convenience with my friends.
You said that already.
I know. I don't know. Like, I think it was just a fun time in my life.
Yeah.
And it was something different for me. So I grew up in Connecticut in a cow town. So it was very small. And I think just like having this metropolitan area with art and food and inspiration and just people all around, New York is always like the big city. So it was very exciting. And I think just to be a part of that and kind of to like small town girl, big city.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I really it kind of threw me into the middle of things, and I think I became a stronger person because of it.
Do you feel like you want to eventually go back to Cowtown, not Cowtown, but small town, or do you think you want to stay in like city like area?
I think it's a really good question.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like now my New York City era my New York City era right now, it's kind of I'm making my way out. Obviously I'm in Hoboken and I like Hoboken, but I don't know what the next thing would be. I'm happy here now. I just moved to this apartment.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what's next.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if I didn't meet Martin, I would probably still be in the city, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he definitely likes more quiet than I do. I don't know. I probably would have stayed in Upper East Side or something. I could have just seen that for myself. So it's funny how like your life can take a turn when you like meet someone or like one thing happens and you like completely, your life just, I was supposed to move to London, whatever it is. But I find that like, because I kind of grew up near the city, I didn't really grow up in like a suburban, like small town.
Right.
So for me, like when I'm thinking about like where I want to live, it's really hard for me to find a place that I'm like happy with because I'm so used to New York City that like a lot of other places don't compare.
Right.
Like me and Martin quickly talked about like Vancouver and we went on a trip to Vancouver and I was like, that's too
far.
It's far, yeah. But I'm just saying like it was just too like to me, it felt like it was like a one downtown area and like that's it. And I'm like, this isn't like city enough. And he's like, well, you're used to New York City, which is like the city.
Right.
So sometimes you can have like unreasonable expectations when you grow up in New York because you're like used to like Manhattan. And it's like, there's only one Manhattan, which is why I think I like London so much because it had that like quiet area, but also city feel.
Right.
And you can travel easily. So to me, it was just like a win-win. But I think it's just, it could be just as hard when you grow up here because it's like nothing compares almost if you like the city.
It's true. I mean, when I went back home during COVID, I moved back home out of my apartment. It was like, I just was so used to the convenience, being able to like run out and go to the drugstore to pick up Band-Aids or being able to get pizza late night like we would, or Thai food or whatever you want, you can get here. And it's just like, to have that convenience and the accessibility of it all, that's hard when you go back somewhere else.
And you have to like drive everywhere.
Yeah. And that's why I like Hoboken. It's because like it's a little bit of both, I think. I have that like comfort of having that accessibility just so much. But it's like outside of the city. So I think that's why I'm happy here now. And I'm okay with it, my era of New York City taking me this way.
Yeah.
But I don't know what would be next I don't know. I don't know if I want to continue to work in the city. Like, there's just so many question marks.
There are so many question marks. Like, and also I think if you add another layer, like for people who want like kids, I think that they just don't want to like raise kids in the city. Yeah. So that's a big reason of why people move outside or move to like the more suburban towns.
It's true.
But I mean, for me, I just never pictured myself living in like a, that like American, like white picket fence and like a dog in the yard. Like I cannot picture that.
Hey, you're on your way there. You have a dog.
I know.
Who would have thought you would have a dog?
I know, not me.
So
I know. And I love him so much. But I feel like that's what people think of when they think of their life. They're just like, I want a house, I want kids, I want a husband, like, but like, I feel like, I mean, we even talked about this on Tori turning 30, but like it looks different for everybody. So you guys just do what's best for you. You don't have to like move to the suburbs or whatever. You raise kids where you want to raise kids.
I know. I just think it's funny because I never really thought that I would start moving out.
Yeah.
So, and it's like you hear of it, you're like, oh, people start to move out once they get married and blah, blah, blah. And it's just interesting. Like you think so many things. And like you said on the last episode, you're like, I just never thought I would get tired. And
I know.
Never not want to go to the crazy bars until 3 a.m.
I know.
And now here you are.
Yeah.
We are just being like, oh, I don't want to. Even like I had fun last night when we went out to get drinks. At some point, it was just like we kept on getting bumped into people. We couldn't hear you. And I came home and I was like, you know what? I think I'm at the age where I'd much rather go out to a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Have a few drinks.
Yeah.
And then go home at a decent hour. I don't know. And it's like,
I know.
I get mad at it, but I'm also like, this is just.
But that's like, I think that's like kind of our
era.
I think that's kind of our idea of fun still. Like,
yeah.
for me, when I think of like where I want to live, I want what you're saying, like to walk outside and be able to like go to get Band-Aids or to walk to a restaurant. Like that's what I want in where I live. Like I want to be like a 15, 20-minute ride or walk or whatever to like somewhere where I can go to a nice restaurant, go to a bar, get a couple of drinks. Like I need that very close to me.
Yeah. What does Martin want?
He's similar. He wants the same thing, but he wants more quiet. Like he doesn't want suburban area. Am I saying that right? Suburbs.
Yeah, like suburban lifestyle.
For a minute, I was like, that sounds like a car.
It is.
But you know what I mean.
But the reason the car is named that, and I will have to do an outstanding item on this, is because I think it's like for that suburban mom.
Oh.
That like.
Okay.
It's like the soccer mom car. So you can pack all your family and kids, soccer balls, hockey bags in there.
Oh, look at that.
Big suburban.
Okay. So yeah. So he doesn't want to live in the suburbs, but he does want more quiet. He maybe wants like a body of water. He wants like more nature. If it was up to me, I would live, more like city. Is that like, I don't know, concrete jungle?
You're like, I
don't need nature, but I do appreciate a little bit more quiet.
Okay. So you should check out Hoboken.
No. I would love to be closer to you, honestly. And I did look at Hoboken at one point, but I don't know.
It's not your vibe?
Yeah. Okay. I love it, though. I do like it.
I know.
I just can't picture myself living here.
I used to joke that I would never move to Jersey.
And here you are.
And here I am dating Mitch.
Yeah.
And living in New Jersey. His thing is he wants to move down the Jersey Shore, and I'm like, that might be too...
I will say, I just went to Julia's in Asbury last week, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
She was like, could you see yourself here? I was like, honestly, like, this is kind of like a vibe that I would like. I'm not a beachy girl, but there was other stuff. Like, there was restaurants, there's bars within walking distance. You can, like, walk around and feel safe. Like, I did really like it. So you should check out some shore areas. You never know.
Yeah. I'm nervous.
Why? What are you nervous about?
I don't know. I'm just nervous of this, like... I feel like my New York City eras were comfortable and I kind of knew what was going on. Like New York City was a constant. It was like, I'm going to live here and I wanted to. Like I knew after college, that's what it was. It was like, I'm going to go to New York City. I'm going to do my job. And now it's like,
what's next?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Do you feel like, I feel like the New York City eras chapter is closing.
It doesn't
it's not close.
To.
I mean, what am I talking about? It sounds like I'm going to move tomorrow.
I know.
I'm still here.
One of our friends is moving, and now we're having a midlife crisis.
So, Amanda, thanks.
See what you did to Tori.
See what you did to us? We're spiraling.
No, I'm not. You are.
It was kind of funny. So Amanda texted me. One thing that she and I used to do was Good Morning Americas in Central Park. So they would have the summer concert series. And we went to see Luke Bryan. I think we went to another one like when we were younger. So she texted me that she was like, on Friday, Tim McGraw is going to be on Good Morning America in Central Park. Do you want to go? I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, closing out an era. And I didn't realize it was for like it was like that week.
Yeah.
So this past Friday. So she asked me on like Wednesday. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I was like, oh no, this is this week. Like, I didn't have enough time to mentally prepare.
Mentally prepare what? To wake up at like 5 a.m.?
Yes. To go.
And it was like supposed to rain, right?
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. And then I immediately was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And so I was like, well, let's just like talk about it and see what happens. And then like, sure enough, I texted her the next morning. I was like, so how are you feeling about tomorrow? And
you're like, let me get a feel for this first before I just cancel.
Yeah. So I was like, how about we do dinner instead? Aww. Because I was like, it's just the thing,
Was she like, okay? Like, did she want to go?
Yeah, she was fine. And then she realized it was like raining and everything, so...
I know. I remember this week I was like talking to you about something and I was like, oh, I have to cancel my friend. I feel bad. And you were like, the best feeling is canceled plans. And I was like, some people actually look forward to plans. I was like, some people actually want to do it. But I actually have a funny story about the Good Morning America thing. So from my 20s, when I was like 22, I was still living at home in Yonkers and I could just take the Metro North train in. And my really good friend Brittany was living in Long Island. So I don't think there was like a train early enough to come in. So she had to stay at her sister's who was living in Long Island City actually at the time.
Okay.
Or Astoria. And she told her sister she had to stay over because she had to work really early or something like that. She had like a really early work event or something like that.
Okay.
But really we were going to Good Morning America to see Selena Gomez.
Oh.
So we woke up at like 5 a.m. We met at Central Park at like 5:30. And her sister had Find My Friends like on her phone, and she saw that Brittany was in Central Park, and she texted her and was like, "Did you get kidnapped?" She's like, "Why are you in Central Park?" And then Brittany had to be like, "No, I lied, and I went to the Selena Gomez concert with Chanel."
Oh my God.
But it was actually so funny because she's like, "Oh yeah, I have to stay over for this work thing or something." And here we are going to Selena Gomez at like 5:30 a.m. And she just told her sister because her sister was like, "Why the hell are you in Central
Oh my
Park?"
God. But I would be so terrified.
I know.
Her poor sister.
I know. And I think she like took a while to answer or something because we were like, going to and it was like raining and like it was like this whole thing and it was so early. But it was really funny.
Oh my
God.
God.
You should have just told her. She was like, I was embarrassed.
Oh my God. Her poor sister.
I know.
Wow.
That's what 22-year-olds do.
Wow.
I know. But those Good Morning America concerts are fun. They're just so early.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
I did a lot of things like that though, where, I mean, there was one point where my mom, when I first moved to the city, she was like, just text me whenever you get home. And she would get mad when I didn't text her or whatever.
Like if you would be out with friends.
Yeah. And then I would start coming home at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which that's normal in the city.
Yes.
Cowtown, not normal.
Not normal.
In the city, that's just like the bars are open late. People are out.
You leave the bar at 2. You get pizza. You gotta go home. Traffic.
I lived in Astoria, so I had to take a cab. Like, and
we didn't go out till like 11. So we're not coming home at midnight.
I know. And so I started texting her then when I got home and her phone would go off. She's like, "You woke me up." So she stopped doing it. But I understand, like, as a mom, you're worried and you're concerned.
100%. Yeah.
I get it. But I just had this, I don't know.
Listen, one day.
Courage, stupidity, call it what you want. Ignorance.
One day, if you become a mom, you're going to be doing the same thing.
I am a mom. I got Rhodey.
I'm talking about like, is Rhodey going out to the bars?
Rhodey goes to Cork City in Hoboken. You can find him there.
With you.
With me.
With you.
But Rhodey, like, he'll pull to go to the bar sometimes.
Oh, really?
It's really funny.
He's a party animal.
He is a party animal. But no, I know when I have a human child, I'd
be a mess. I would literally never let my child go anywhere knowing what I did. So it's probably for the best.
Oh my God. What do you think has like changed the most since leaving?
Since our 20s?
Yeah.
Since our 20s or since leaving the city?
Since leaving the city. In our 20s. I mean, they're kind of the same.
Yeah. I think just the frequency of going out has changed. Like, I could not stay home on a Friday night. Like, I felt like a loser. I felt like I have no friends. I have no plans. And that was like the opposite of the truth. Like, I had many friends, but like if I was home, it just made me feel really bad. Like, I'd be like, why don't I have plans? Like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
So I would make plans.
Right.
Now I'm very content on a Friday night, even if Martin's not there. Very content. I mean, I don't like being alone, but I'm very content to just like do something at home. Order sushi, watch a movie by myself. Like I've been better about being alone.
Good.
As I gotten older. Like, and I don't mean that in like because I'm still always scared. I mean that in a way of like, I'm more comfortable being alone with myself, if that makes sense.
Do you think Seb has helped with that a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was like this before. Like I was a little bit more, I became more of a homebody as I've gotten older. Like I think COVID, I mean, I said that before. I was like put into COVID as a party animal and I spit out like, I like enjoying a nice Friday night at home.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't okay with being alone before. I felt weird about it. I felt like I wasn't popular. Like I put all these like labels on myself and obviously none of it was true, but I was just like so hard on myself if I ever spent a night alone. And I think part of it was like being single too. I was like, nobody wants me. You just go down a spiral.
Yeah.
Like it was like not, it was a very big insecurity of mine, I think. But I think as I've gotten older, I'm just like, it's okay to spend a night by yourself. It's okay to like watch a movie alone. Like,
yeah, it's hard. It's a double-edged sword, I think, especially like being young in your 20s in the city, because you do feel that like I should be doing something. And sometimes I think you can tire yourself out easily.
Yeah.
Being like, I have to be doing something all the time because other people, the city doesn't sleep.
Exactly.
Or at least it didn't before COVID. I know it's still that, like we went out the other night and I was like, what are all these kids doing here?
And I think too, like when you have a lot of pressure on yourself to meet someone, you feel like if you're home, you're not going to meet them on your couch.
Right.
So you're like,
Well, you
I have
could
to
on
say,
dating apps. That's what I did.
true. But you know what I mean? Like you feel like you should be on a date, or you feel like you should be meeting someone, or like you have to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like hard to like spend nights alone in my 20s, whereas now I'm just like so much better about it.
True, because like every night you're like, this could be an opportunity to meet someone if that was important to you.
If it was important to you.
I wish I didn't put as much pressure on myself. Like looking back, and this is what I also hate now.
Yeah.
It really like upsets me, and I know it's cliche, but it upsets me looking back at my 20s, like how stressed I was and it gives me good framework for looking out on my life to come, that I don't need to be so stressed and I don't have to put that much pressure on myself, which I still do. I'm like, I need to figure out how to not do this and like appreciate the moment. But like, definitely, I was super stressed about like meeting someone, going out, going on dates. And I like appreciate now looking back at all the times I was able to spend with friends.
I know. I wish we just enjoyed the moment more versus like, who are we going to meet tonight? Am I going to meet my husband tonight? I think there was just like so much pressure for some reason.
There was. And the dating scene in New York City is ruthless.
It's terrible. It took my soul and gave it back to me. It was like, fine, I'll let you have it.
I don't know. I still am just like,
might be out there.
Yeah. I tell Mitch all the time, like, I sometimes get upset with myself because I'm like, I stress so much about dating and like being in the city, but I'm happy that era is over. But like, I also like just to know that I stressed so much and then I ended up with such a good person. It's like, I didn't need to stress, but maybe if I didn't, I wouldn't have met him. So you know what? It is what it is.
That's true too. Like maybe because of the effort we put in, we met people that we're happy with.
Sure. The universe was like, fine, take it.
Just shut up already. Just stop going out so much. Take a breath.
I know. Oh my God.
What do you think has changed the most for you?
Like about what?
Like what you just asked me, like from your 20s or from when you lived in the city?
I mean, a lot has changed, but I think I was able, I don't know. This is a tough question.
You just asked me.
I mean, like, it's like literally changed. I went from like living with and when I lived in Astoria, I had like 3 different roommates within a year.
Yeah.
Like craziness, unreliability. And like I had just craziness in my life.
So consistency.
Yes. There's a lot of consistency.
Okay.
I think. And I've been able to like calm down and like prioritize like, okay, this is what I need at this moment. I mean, I've done a lot of changing and growing up, so it's not just like physically the setting. I mean, yes, I went from having roommates. I had, I think, 5 different roommates within 5 years, which was just crazy. I moved from Astoria to Manhattan. Now I'm in Hoboken. And I mean, it's true. You get more for your money here.
It's true what they say.
It's true what they say.
Yeah. I think it's just funny because we had such a clear divide on like meeting someone right before our 30s. So for us, it's literally like 20s versus 30s.
Yeah.
But I think like for most people, it's just like a chapter of their lives. Like, because some people meet someone at like 35 or 37 or whatever it is. So like their era might be different. Like they might still be, going out in their 30s and they're not tired. Like who knows, you know, or they might have met someone and still want to go out. Like I feel like it's just so crazy that like we're both on like the same page.
I know.
But because that doesn't happen often because there's so many different scenarios. It's just weird that like we met someone at the same time and like had kind of like the same.
And with our friend Amanda that we were talking about earlier, like we've all had that trajectory where we met someone right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so much of our relationships and I think that the thing is like we all left at the same point, and now we're like coming back and we're at the same point, but those points aren't like in the same location. We're all like now spreading out a little bit, and it's just interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, who knows where I would have been, Maybe I would have been in London. Maybe I would have been in Upper East Side.
Well, I wouldn't have had this podcast.
Maybe I'd still be partying.
I don't know if I can keep up with the partying now because like the bar we went to last night, I'm like, and we're going to talk about this on another episode, but like what's going on with the clothing? What's happening? Like I just noticed that like, I'm like, I am definitely using eye cream now. Like the situation, I notice my millennialness now.
I know.
The Gen Z era is here. That's it. The millennial era has closed.
It's not close.
It's not close, but it's like that prime of like
We were the
partying,
hot
going out.
things.
Yeah, I know, and I'm feeling not like a hot thing. I'm a hot mess. I'm just not a hot thing.
Remember when we used to work at our old job and we were in our 20s. We were like 25, 26, whatever. And everyone always used to be like, have you seen this movie? Have you seen Steel Magnolia? Like they used to make fun of us and be like, do you know this band? And like they would make fun of our, like how young we were. And now I'm doing that to my young coworkers. And I'm like, how the hell did this happen?
I just had to say goodbye to my intern.
Yeah.
And it was like a mom moment. Like I understood, like I felt in the position that like our managers must have felt when we were moving on. It was just such a weird feeling to be like, to see this person. And I tried to give her some advice as she goes into this new chapter, which I don't know if I'm the right person to be giving her this advice, but I have this podcast with you, so maybe I am.
Yeah, who knows?
And I just like, I tried to tell her like not to be as worried, you know, and just to enjoy this time and really figure out and don't feel pressure. Like you need a job, right? Like you have to support yourself, but like explore, like don't
just take a job just because you need a job.
Right. Like actually show it something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Like, you know, do a good job, listen, try to like just not put too much pressure on yourself. And it was just weird to be like in a position of giving advice to
And also
youth.
we used to put so much pressure on ourselves. So I understand like where they come from.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I mean, trying to find a job was like a whole nother thing, but it was just, you constantly put pressure on yourself. So I feel like they need like older people to say that. Some older people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They need like the big sister energy.
Yeah.
They're also wild.
Wild?
Yeah. They are like, they have a different like energy to them, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I tell my Gen Z coworker all the time, I'm like, you're living at home and you're not paying rent. Please travel. I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, go to Italy. Like, what are you doing? Like, there is not going to be a time in your life where you're not paying rent. Like, save money, but also make sure you're traveling.
That's true. I never got to save money like that, except for during COVID. I saved some money.
Oh my gosh, COVID was for saving money was like
that was.
I was like, wow, do I really go out this much?
But I do think my spending habits have kind of changed since COVID too.
I need to stop going to so many weddings and then maybe my spending habits will change.
All right. All of Chanel's friends stop getting married.
Actually, I think we're almost there.
Oh my God. Wow. And then yours. So that'll be exciting.
And then yours.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Any last pieces of advice for anyone living in the city? Live it up.
Enjoy each era.
We act like we don't live in the city.
Explore.
Like, people would consider us living in the city. You know
I know.
What I mean?
Well, actually, it's funny. I had someone visiting me today, and we went out to brunch, and he was like, "Tori, you said you moved to New Jersey, but like I came and drove in, and I started seeing the city, and I was like, she lied." And I was like, "Well, Hoboken's not really a part of New Jersey." And then
it's not.
No, it is.
Oh,
it is.
Oh, whoa.
I just say it's not because it's so close to the city.
It's
like
so close.
I know. I think we're over dramatizing this.
So dramatic.
We are. This is the most. I think we're being. Listen, now that I'm thinking about it, like, what are we talking about? We're being so dramatic. It's like we don't live here anymore, and it's like it's a 20-minute drive.
No. I don't think we're saying that. I think we're saying it's just different.
It's different. Yeah. I think who we are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Taylor Swift eras, okay? You know, like she had different periods of her life in each album, and it's like the New York City album.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
And now we're into a different album.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Totally. Different album. Yeah. I mean, we're so close. I'm like one stop away from the city. Like I really need to relax.
I know. But I think I think what we're trying to say is that like one, we're not in our 20s.
Yeah.
And two, like it's just interesting reflecting back at like our 20s and how important the city was to us and how like integral it was to our 20 experience, being able to explore New York, have friends here, and just have that experience.
It's definitely special. I don't think a lot of people get to experience like living in a big city and having all their closest friends within like 10, 20 blocks of each other, and just like having the convenience of going out. Like we definitely had a special experience, and we were lucky to have experienced it, and we're able to afford something in the city, like regardless of the 3, 4, 5 roommates, because it's freaking expensive out there. So I think it's just like it was such an important part of us like growing into who we are. So I think we just kind of wanted to reminisce on that a little bit.
Yeah, we learned a lot of lessons. The city taught us a lot. It gave us a lot, and we appreciate it.
And we're still kind of there.
Yeah, kind of. We're still kind of there. That's it. Yeah. Like I'm kind of near New York City.
We're like there, but kind of ish.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any final notes?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked.
I'm glad we talked too. All right. Well, as always, you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Glad We Talked Podcast.
And rate and review and comment and like on our social posts and just show us love, guys, please.
Yeah, but also I was thinking about doing maybe some merch. I would love to know if anyone is interested in some merch. Chanel and I have these hats that we made, and I'm just curious. I would love to know the feedback. So you can email, text, comment, DM, whatever. Let us know if you are interested in merch, and then we might actually do it.
Yeah.
So let us know.
The demand has to be there.
The demand has to be there. Yeah. So if you're a fan, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome.
We out here.
And we out here grinding. Sorry. You muted me. Muted. Oh.
Am I one?
You're two.
No, my headphones.